Hey, this is Bill with Dirty Bird Outdoors. Today we're going to be installing the decked drawer system in our new pickup truck. So follow along, watch the whole video. We got some pretty good tips on how to install it and some things that we caught. So sit back and watch us get this installed in our truck. So we just opened up the box to the decked drawer system, and I don't know exactly if I'm going to do an installation video per se, because the ones online are perfectly fine, but I think I will try to record it and show some of the steps in assembling the deck drawer system. So it didn't take too long to get it, and it just got delivered. They have a deliverer that delivers. DHL delivered it to us today, and so the first thing it says to do is take everything out and lay it all out so you can see it. And I'm going to pretty much just assemble mine on this concrete out front here that we just had put in, and that's about the flattest area. The garage, everybody's garage is filled with stuff, and I don't want to move stuff out of there. So let's go ahead and take everything out of the box here. So we laid out the two side plates in the center strip, and they have the threaded inserts on the back here. Down here, that's for the wheels for the drawers. This is the enclosure towards the cab of the truck. The drawers, I was pretty surprised. Those are they're pretty heavy. And then they put one handle on, and you have to install the one handle yourself. Comes with a couple totes, which I already seen on the website. There's a couple more totes I'm going to order. So I'm going to get couple different ones. And so now I'm going to take everything out of the box, and we'll lay those out on the tailgate. Okay, I have everything laid out on the bed of the truck, and so just from watching the videos and that, I can kind of pretty much tell what most of the parts are for. These are your bag of bolts. That's to put the deck on and whatnot. These are your bolts. These are for putting on, the metal strip and the metal strip and plate and whatnot across the back of your drawers. You got a bag of bolts and screws. Those are going to be to attach these for your drawers for your wheels. You get 4 tie downs, and you get the screws and the washers and the spacers for that. And they even give you extra ones, because I guess the system, it might do 8 tie downs. Well, they send you 4, and then you just put the screws in the 4 you're not going to use. They give you plugs, and these go where the key locks would go. You got a handle and all the springs for that, and they put one of those in for you. Too bad they didn't do both. You're supposed to use a drill with a clutch, so you don't strip out the inserts and whatnot. They do give you 2 new inserts. Hopefully we don't mess those up. And then these are the hold downs that I'm supposed to replace in my truck, and these are the ones I'm going to hold off doing that with, in the bolts. So you got your wheels for your drawers. I believe it's the small wheels go on the drawers, and the big wheels go on the small wheels go on the back to support the drawer, and then the big wheels go on the front of the drawers itself. And these are more or less, I would say, stiffener bars for the drawers. So these will go in for like spreaders. And you got your plate and your seals for the drawer. So as in the instructions, there's a gasket right here, and then there's a gasket inside of the deck also. So you want to make sure that gasket, it's tucked into place. Keep an eye on that while you're assembling it. So I laid it on top. I got it on top of my C channel. You can see my inserts through there. 1, 2, 3. those are the ones that we're going to snug up. These are where the spacers go and where your hold downs go, and there's 4 on this side. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and put those 3 screws in like it tells you to. So we're just going to use our drill. Grab 3 screws. I will put it on a clutch setting. These screws are 3/8 drive. And they're kind of nice because, you know, the heads of them, or the tips of them, they're sort of, you know, ground off so that they kind of follow in their pilot themselves. So, not going to over tighten them, not going to go crazy. After you put those in, it does tell you to tighten those back up. So I guess I'll go ahead and tighten up those 2 screws that were underneath here. Okay, those are tightened up. So this side, we got our C channel on, and our inserts are aligned. Not quite aligned down here. I have to move that around a little bit, maybe. So let's put in these 3 bolts. One, 2, 3, and it says to tighten these. Okay, so tighten those. Okay, now they give you 4 D-rings, and we're going to install our 4 D-rings on the outside 4 corners. And then they also give you basically like plugs for the 2 inner D-rings. So all I'm going to show you is installing the D-ring and the plug. Okay. Well, all the outside corners we're going to put a D-ring. This is the flat side down. You drop in a spacer, and then you put your D-ring on like that. And then with these, you use a small washer. The large washer is where the plugs go. And then we're going to install that. So the spacer and the washer is actually what touches. The spacer goes through the D-ring. So then you snug it up, and now it can swivel. Okay? And so this is going to be one where I'm going to put a plug. And so the plug, you use the large washer, no spacer. Okay? I think we actually might buy some more spacers, and those are on the website. So then we're going to snug that up. Okay? So you saw us do those, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the rest. There's no sense in video in that part. And we're going to do for our drawers is we're going to install these drawer brackets. And they slide into the big holes like that. And you have to put 4 bolts in. So there's 3 short bolts. We got bolts and nuts. So there's 3 short ones. And you get a long one. And the long one, it goes towards into the front here, just like that. All right. So we're going to put these on. All 4 bolts. And then we're going to tighten these up. So now that we got them finger tightened, I'll go ahead and use a wrench and the drill. We'll snug them up. So I realized, looked at the directions a little bit better, and I realized you're supposed to put this bar across here, and that goes on this inside. And so you don't need nuts over here. So I'm gonna put these bars across the drawers here. So these bars, they go across inside there. So now I'm going to go ahead and tighten up those bolts. After you get the bar in there and your brackets in there, next thing to do is to attach your large wheels. The large wheels, they just thread on. And they give you a hex wrench for this. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put my wheels on. I got 3 more to go. So the one side of your drawers, it comes with the handle attached, and it's spring loaded. It's got the pins and it's got the keeper pins. And so now what you have to do is you have to install the handle on this side. And what they do is they give you 2 springs. They give you a red spring, that's for on the right, and you want the straight bar to be in. Okay, so once you get both of your springs in, your pins are just sticking through or barely. You got them pointed out. You got to guide your handle up through, right? Up through so it catches. So it catches on the handle. Okay, and now we're going to tap them in. We're just going to tap them in part way. Then we're going to check it. There you go. And then your handle should go back into place just like that. Tap them in all the way. And then we'll put our keeper pins through the holes. And that's all it is for your handle. We got the drawers basically together. I mean, there's a couple things that I'm not positive about the base, because I didn't tighten up all those bolts where the D-rings go, those angles. So I'm going to do that before I put them in the truck bed. And then, you know, those bottom rollers, you don't put those on yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next step in the instructions. So the deck system, I got this side in, and as I was putting it in, I was like, man, I really could use some help. It's not that heavy, it's just that it's awkward, and you don't want to mess up the dust panels on the side. It seems like those tie downs in the back are going to be good. It seems like those tie downs, they must go in the front. I must have looked at the directions wrong. So I might have to put those hooks in there. But like I said, I'll do that after I get this put in here and see, before I go drilling into it. Because I know a lot of the videos, there was a lot more room between the tailgate and your drawer system. And this one's on the 8-foot bed's back pretty far, which is really nice. I like that. So luckily my wife just pulled in, so I'm going to have her give me a hand putting in the other side. Okay, so I indeed need the tie downs on the inside of my bed. So you follow the directions. It says 23 1/8, and then by 3 from your top rib. And when you mount these, you mount them with the loop up. And what it'll have is it'll have a piece of rubber on the backside like that. And then I'm going to have a piece of rubber and the aluminum plate on the outside of my bed. And then I'll put a nut on the backside. And then they give you, this primer stuff for on your holes to keep it from rusting. So I'm going to apply some of that as well. And so I'll have my wife help me install these. But I'm going to go ahead and mark the other side and get those holes drilled. Yeah, I got my holes marked where they're supposed to get drilled. So I'll take my 5/16 drill and drill these 2 holes here. So, the wife came home, she gave me a hand, and we got the tie-down brackets installed. And now we're going to move some of these tools here, and then she's going to help me set the bed in. So she'll get that side swept up. And then we'll set this into place. Okay. Well, you just gotta center it. Okay. Now she's setting in place. And I think the next step is to put all the screws in it. Like I said, these are some pretty hefty drawers. Okay, well, it's raining, but we want to get this done. So I got my hex driver. I got my drill. I'm going to put it like, 2/3 of the way up and drive these screws in. So what is there? There's 4 of them. So we're going to put them in and make sure not to over tighten them. So these bolts, they tell you to install them and to not install them, you know, tight yet. So we'll go ahead and do that. It's a 3/8 driver. So the center ones, they really can't go anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up. Okay, those are tight. And this one here, I'd say the spacing's not terrible. I mean, everything looks pretty good from what I could tell. I'll just push it over a little bit and I'll tighten it up. All right. Now this one here, the spacing, I think could be better. And I can really shove that one over. So I'll shove that over and tighten it up. Okay. All right, all those bolts are tight. Everything seems to be about as good as I can get it. I've already gone ahead, yesterday I did it. Put the wipers on, the seals. That edge goes towards the inside, and then you just, you know, press them onto the top. Drawers work well. So now what we got is we have all of our plugs. So we have the plugs to put in. There's 6 of them. They go in the holes in the drawers where the locks would go. I'm not buying any locks. I'm going to have, you can't get into these when the tailgate's locked anyway. And then I'm going to have a cap on it. My cap will have a lock on it. And whatever I store inside these hatches isn't going to be worth anything to steal. If anybody wants to steal it, they need it more than I do, and I'm not really worried about it. So I will go ahead and get into the bed and put the rest of the plugs in. So what we have left, we have the turnbuckles left. And it appears like our turnbuckles, they're all the same size. See if you can see it. So it goes on this metal bracket, and then it goes on your tie down. And then what they tell you to do, I guess, is, let me put that hook. Let me put that hook on the other, hook it on the other way. There we go. So I'm going to tighten it down by hand, right? And it's snug. And then I'll go ahead and I'll put this one on this side until it's snug. Snug this side up. So we got it snugged up there. Snugged up there. Oh, Al's called me again today. So as you can see, we got them snugged up. I'll do one more revolution on each one, and then I'll tighten the nuts. And then since I showed you how we do those ones, I'll go ahead and do the front ones. No need for you guys to watch that. Okay, I'm all done installing the deck drawer system. I do have that bag of binder screws left. I'm going to show it to you. If anybody, the directions, I didn't see it. If you guys know what these binder screws go to, please let me know. But it's all done. Drawers open up all the way. Shut nice. I got all these are the totes and the dividers that came with it, you know. Haven't really played with those at all. They are kind of cool. You just squeeze the tops and you can get into them. You don't have to open up. Oops. You don't have to take the boxes out. So that's what comes with it. This came with it. And then, of course, inside your deck system, you got inside totes. And all of these already had, I dumped the water in them. But they're supposed to be water. It's supposed to be watertight. You shouldn't get any water in them. So I have the inserts in the front, but you know, these ones don't have the inserts. And I guess you could have a little bit of a problem with it holding water, and then when you go to take them off, but like I said, I'll have a cap, but I could see that being a problem with some people. But I went on their website. Excuse me. I went on their website. It's a few things I want to order. I want to order 2 more sets of trays for each side. I can hold what? 4 more tie downs. So I'm going to go ahead and get 4 more tie downs. And then as far as like boxes, I'm probably going to order some boxes. They have a tray like this one here, but it's bigger. It probably comes out to here. I'm not sure if I'll probably get that one for in the other drawer, and then get one of the boxes, and then just see how it goes from there. But yeah, we're all hooked up. It's secured. Tie downs are in, and that's about it. It wasn't that hard to put together. I would say it probably took me maybe 2.5 hours to put it together. So it wasn't really hard. I would say have somebody. Yeah, you could man up and do it by yourself. But it was nice that when Patty came home and she helped me carry the other half and set it into place. So that was nice. Doing the tie downs, having to move those. There was only a couple errors in the directions. Those tie downs, it tells you to drill a 5/16 hole. You had to drill a 1/4 inch hole. So that was one of the errors in the instructions. And then, like I'd mentioned, there was those 3 screws on the C channel. I only had 2. I didn't see anything different with that. And other than that, there was one other mistake, I think, but I can't remember what it was. I might have mentioned it in the video when I was making it, shooting the video yesterday. But what I do like is on my drawer system, it's pretty close to the tailgate. A lot of them, it looks like they're, several inches away. Well, I'm very close to the tailgate, and I got to say, I like that. I really do. Now, up in the front, I didn't opt to buy the extra decking because it has some access panels. I don't think I need that. I think I'm going to use this space to store stuff when we leave and go camping and whatnot. I could possibly put some totes in there if I want. The only thing I could possibly seeing, is when we sleep in it, but I think we'll just put our head that way. And then if our feet were to overhang, well, so what? They overhang over here a little bit. But I don't see a problem with that. So this is my new truck. It's a F350. It's a diesel. It's probably more than I need to pull my boat, but I pull other things, and I've had a lot of V8s that didn't pull for crap, and I wanted to make sure when I was pulling my boat or pulling anything else, I didn't have any trouble. And honestly, to get the diesel, it wasn't much more money. It had more rebates. It's kind of a basic interior. That's the way I like it. It has everything I need. We've had crew cabs before, and they have just tons and tons of space in the back. So, you know, Drake here, he's going to have lots of room back there for traveling. And the boys too. And being as we have the split seat, we could fit 6. Center console folds down. The cap, I haven't really looked at them yet, but get a cap ordered. And there's our deck system. All right, so if you watch this video to this point, I'm going to add this at the end. I installed all of the deck system, and if you remember me saying I had some binder screws, I had a bag of them, and I didn't know where these went. My directions didn't say it. Online, the video that you QR code and scanned and watched, it didn't mention it either. Well, on the 8-foot beds, they come with stiffeners, angles. So there's angles inside of there, and they're pre-drilled. There's 2 of them. Well, that's where those screws go. So I'm going to go ahead and take these drawers out. Got my sawhorses set up to throw the drawers on. All you have to do, it's very simple. I already did one. You take off your weather stripping. You shut your drawer. This is how I installed it. I used a clamp to raise my drawer. They give you a nice long hex screwdriver. Take those wheels out, pull the drawers out, and then install those screws in the angle bracket for your stiffener for the long drawers. So I hope you watched it through the entirety if you have the 8-foot bed, just to catch up on that. And I hope you like your deck system. We'll be doing another follow-up on the deck system after we use it for a little bit. We're going to get a cap for this truck, like I said in the video, and we're going to do some camping trips. We're going to have our Magellan tote in here and take that camping. I'm going to show you guys that tote, and we'll do a video on that probably soon because that has to be shared. It is an awesome, awesome tote. I bought them for all the boys last year at Christmas. Everybody likes them, and we've used them on a couple camp trips. I can't say enough good stuff about them. So hope you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay dirty.